Shalom, let me introduce myself. My name is Gabriela Julia Uksw. I come from Satu-satunya Christian University, Theology Faculty. The purpose of making this video is to fulfill the end of semester test for the history of Christianity, about the church during the Enlightenment period with the BPK, Guide, Book Mount Mulia, Haberkov, Iha and Clark, Church History. The Enlightenment was a Protestant reaction to Catholic Counter-Reformation, and that philosophical views such as the affinity for democracy versus monarchy originated among Protestants in the 16th century to break away from the Catholic Church. The act of Enlightenment, Renaissance Aufklärung Enlightenment, was an era when thinking about my systems, religion and the church began to be valued no longer and were replaced with more scientific ideas with Isaac Newton as the originator. The act of Enlightenment in Europe developed from England, France, and Germany. In England, the start of the act of Enlightenment was marked by the passing of free-thinking laws in the mid-17th century. After that came the flow of philosophy, which is very influential on aspects of people's life. The Renaissance, which emerged in the 15th century, declared the man himself is the rule of all that exists, not the church or the Bible. Enlightenment is the release of man from a state of immaturity in which he lived by his own piety. Immaturity is the inability of man to use his mind if it is not led by another person, but the statement becomes less important than reason. Natural theology is a theology that recognizes that humans can't know God with their minds. Theology that can interpret every experience to proclaim the greatness of God. This theology is also called naturalist theology. This idea understands that everything, including the mind or soul, is part of nature. Theology embraces how the mind or soul of a human being sees and understands the world in terms of the purpose and meaning of life and universal order toward God as the ultimate goal. Aufklärung, or the act of enlightenment, was a major movement in Europe in the 18th century that gave human reason an extraordinary position. This period of continuation of the Renaissance gave birth to various thinkers of rationalism, empiricism, spontaneism, idealism, positivism, pragmatism, phenomenology, scholarism, and existentialism. The scientific revolution, or development in science, in which the scientific method from the basic for formulating problems and solutions, was the backdrop for the start of the age of enlightenment. The early Aufklärung period is marked by the death of Louis XV in 1715 until the outbreak of the French Revolution, 1789. The Church is obligated to fulfill the demands of repentance for the world, which worship the golden calf reason, which will be the text of the Church, but the Church is not aware of the danger of this new movement. The Church wants to be based on the power of reason, which indicates the statement before the church to the secret is removed from the revelation of God. The church teaching itself is moralistic and rationalistic, and it is no longer aware that sin and grace are at the center of the Bible's make. Nevertheless, this resulted in good things for the church and theology. Internally, the Roman Catholic Church was less active but enlightenment compared to the Protestant Church, but the Roman Catholic Church suffered with a big loss. The trump of the enlightenment over the Roman Catholic Church was the dissolution of the jealous order. The Church also lost its worldly power, but spirituality, the church was beneficial because it not was a pure position and according to its real place in society. Many charitable leaders of the time were able to recognize how dangerous the act was and did their best to keep it away from the church. On the other hand, in 1795, the French Revolution fluid the Netherlands and entered the church, so that a group of imperent or order-minded radical formed because of the privilege and all the advantages, and finally the church was spared from the state. With the entry of this period of enlightenment, the power of the gospel over the people was no longer followed, but was even rigid, since then it was no longer possible for the church to regulate society according to the word of God as had been dreamed of by the popes in the Middle Ages. Calvin in Gereja, John Knox in Scotland, and the Calvinists in the New Netherlands. On the other hand, we should be grateful that Christ did not die. So many of my video happy, useful, and thank you.